Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. So I had the chance to interview Sabrina and Idris Elba about their new-ish brand Sable Labs. Before we get into more, I just want to say that this video isn't sponsored, I wasn't paid to do anything. All the products I'm using from Sable Labs are my own that I had anyway. I said yes to this interview for the points I'm about to discuss. I took this opportunity because I have a genuine interest in this brand. I feel like it being referred to as a celebrity brand kind of works for it, for me, more so than it works against it. And by against it, I mean, we all obviously know how many celebrity brands have been launched over the last 2-3 years. It's crazy, right? But there's something different about this brand, in my opinion, that kind of sets it quite a few bars above the rest for me. And I'm going to delve into that today. And I also got to ask Idris and Sabrina Elba what makes their brand different to any other celebrity skincare brand. So I will be slicing the interview where relevant to talking points, right? So I want to stress some of the key points that kind of made me interested in this brand in the first place. I first reviewed this, I want to say almost a year ago now, when their cleanser toner moisturizer was launched. I grabbed the toner because I was happy to see that a brand had launched a toner in the first place. So a lot of brands don't do that, and a toner is my favorite product to use in the whole skincare line. Researching into the brand itself and who Sabrina Elba and Idris Elba are as people off camera kind of made me more interested in what the brand's intentions are compared to a lot of other not just celebrity skincare brands actually, but a lot of newly launched brands who are just launching product. So first of all, at a very surface level, when you go onto the website, you see that they kind of refer to skincare as almost like a therapy, like as like a self-reflective time, a time for you, with the tagline, people who feel good do good. And I truly believe that. If I don't get my hour alone in the bathroom to do my skincare routine, I do not feel like a nice person. I do not feel like I've had that time to, everything I've been doing, I just want to do something for me just for an hour, and that's my time in the bathroom. So instantly I was like, oh my God, this brand gets my philosophy with skincare. It's not about just being basic and good for your skin. It's not about, just being eco-friendly. It's not about, just one particular thing. It's about having good products, but about you and your time and how you feeling good about yourself reflects to the outer world and your actions, which I found really, really intriguing and I could connect with. Throughout my research before interviewing the Elbas, I did a lot of research in their philanthropic, is that the way you pronounce it? Charity work, and I tried to do a quick Google, and it's not a quick Google. They do a lot. They are very charitable. But one thing that stuck out to me from the interviews, they have a very particular approach to the work they do. They don't just kind of like throw a load of money at something and I'm like, bye, we wish you the best. Their work seems to be more about finding solutions to not just economic issues, but issues worldwide, rather than just chucking money at something. And that kind of made me see the connection between this and their brand Sable Labs. So when you go to their Our Commitment page, you can see their responsible sourcing and traceable supply chain section. They talk about the charities that they donate to through Sable Labs, working with Farm Africa, which they'll talk about more. When we talk about beauty brands' effects on, the world and the ecosystem, environmentally friendly, how environmentally friendly can a brand be? The go-to answer is always to just not exist. And that's not really a solution. Brands are going to exist, but how do they change the way they exist in order to be more eco-friendly, human-friendly as well? And it's nice to see that this brand, you can trace everything back. It's not just greenwashing, which a lot of other brands do. So I found that so nice, but not surprising, knowing who Idris and Sabrina Elba are when it comes to their philanthropic work. It feels like an extension of who they are, an extension of their charitable work. Now, not everyone gets to meet brand founders in real life, and I'll be honest, I've met a few here and then. Some of them I've said no to meeting because I wasn't interested in the brand, But I was able to spend some time with Sabrina in particular before. It was a meet and greet in Space NK. So I was there getting my set up ready. I was able just to chill with Sabrina a bit, and she is you can tell she's very passionate about not just her brand and the Sable Lab products, but the skincare world in general. We were talking about everything skincare related. Like, she knows her shit. You can tell to her that's a genuine passion project and that has a deeper meaning to just slapping her face on a brand, because that's not what the Elbers did. They were very much involved. I overheard that her mum had a lot of involvement in the brand as well. You know, I'm reporting from the inside. It all seems very genuine, which I think is a fair enough kind of statement to make, because when we do look at celebrity or even influencer skincare brands that have launched of recent, it does feel like a celebrity have slapped their face on a brand and called it theirs. You know, a lot of these celebrities aren't able to actually say what's in their products or really talk about like barely the ingredients, let alone the sourcing, where the products come from, where the ingredients come from. The Elbers could have talked about for hours. So before the interview, I want to run you through the products, and I'll note some of my favorites. And we'll start with one of my favorites, the K-Seal Cleanser. I love this one because its main ingredients are oat amino acid and kaolin. We all know kaolin for being like one of the key ingredients in a clay mask. So really, really good for oily skin. But then we have that oat amino acids, which is really nice and soothing. It's great for your skin barrier. In this cleanser, it's acting as a surfactant, so it's nice and gentle, non-drying. It's got a very soft foam to it, a barely there foam, but you can feel it's kind of like soft, and when you rinse it away, it leaves your skin feeling very, very soft. This also has aloe vera leaf in it, which is one of my favorites for calming the skin, hydrating. Panthenol, which is great for moisturizing, giving us that kind of like soft feeling to the cleanser. Something called hydrolyzed rice protein. Now, I know we're all familiar with rice as an ingredient in general, but I don't think I've heard of hydrolyzed rice protein. But according to the website, it says that it provides moisturizing, healing, and antioxidant properties to help with those dark spots. And one of the key kind of like factors of the brand, which we'll talk about again later in the interview, is to help with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Such a nice, gentle way. Oh, I've got to talk about the micellar water. I believe this is a newish one. I've not been using this for long at all, but there are a lot of ingredients in here that I don't really recognize in the best way. We'll talk about ingredients in a bit. Those are ingredients sourced from Africa. So this brand has introduced me to a lot of ingredients. So we have Rest Planter Babasu oil, glycereth 8 esters, which is rich in fatty acids to help cleanse. Rooibos extract, probably saying that wrong, which is native to South Africa for soothing, healing, and anti-aging. I'm literally just reading off the website now because I've not heard of these ingredients before using this brand, which is a combination of the antioxidants and alpha hydroxy acids and zinc. Again, gentle skin resurfacing. Barley seed ferment filtrate, which is a zero waste botanical upcycled grain ferment, and vegetable glycerin, which they claim locks in 3 times more moisture than glycerin. Glycerin as well, and skin influx, which helps restore skin structure by filling gaps in the lipid bilayer with skin identical lipids. We've got ceramides, cholesterol, and free fatty acids in there. And yeah, I like this. I must say, I usually take the spray nozzle off and just pour it onto a cotton pad, but enough comes out in the spray that you can. But yeah, and micellar water, if you find that you can't leave micellar waters on because they dry out your skin and irritate, you'll be fine with this one, I promise. We have my favorite product, which I reviewed back in July of last year when this brand was first launched, and I love this. We all know that toners, essences, serums nowadays are pretty much interchangeable. They all seem to have those key active ingredients. They just have different textures, you know? And I often find that toners and essences tend to be purposely more hydrating than a serum, for example. But honestly, nowadays, you can use one and kind of drop the other if you want to. So this toner has an ingredient in called black seed extract, which I think I've only ever used in the Dear Klairs black seed oil cleanser, which was one of my favorite products. I need to crack that out again. So black seed is rich in vitamin C, antioxidants. So we have a fruit acid blend in here as well. So we've got a load of AHAs derived from fruit. We have L-ascorbic acid in here, so vitamin C. We also have ferulic acid in here as well, which I don't see much. I don't see much anywhere. I thought it was going to be the next big thing because it's an amazing ingredient. Again, helping with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And then we have the Baobab Moisturizer. This is nice. This is nice. And again, this is just like a real cocktail of really beneficial ingredients in a nice, it's not light, it's not heavy, it's somewhere in between. We have niacinamide, again, even out skin tone, help with excess sebum production, can help with your pores. It's been shown to help reduce the size of pores. Tranexamic acid, which we know helps kind of like suppress that melanin production, excessive production of melanin production, and even out skin tone. evens out post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Squalane as well, this is all vegan, so this is like plant-derived squalane, a skin-identical ingredient that helps moisturize without feeling greasy and heavy. Then baobab seed, which I've, again, not heard of before using Sable Labs. On their website, they say this is derived from the African plant known as the tree of life, increases the skin's barrier function to protect and lock in moisture, and restores DNA health following UV exposure. And then we have licorice root as well, which we know is in a lot of K-beauty actually, for evening out skin tone and reducing post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation as well. So those are the products, and I really, really enjoy them. So let's get into the interview. As I mentioned, it was very loud in there. It was very busy. A lot of people were there to see the Elbers and check out their new products. So I tried to tidy up the audio as much as possible. Also, you're going to hear me kind of go, yeah, a lot, because I kind of forgot I was doing an interview. And I kind of just felt like having a conversation about skincare. So as I mentioned, I do feel like this is different to an average celebrity skincare brand. But I did have to ask them, what makes this any different to all the other skincare brands that I've launched? And also, what does Sable mean, in case you haven't figured it out already?
Well, first of all, I love that you said that there's like so many celebrity brands, but we feel a bit different, because elephant in the room, there's a lot. Like when we launched, I feel like there was one literally every day.
Yes.
Like, what is happening? But when we were formulating and we were coming to sort of what the brand was about, like I'm from a generation of Neutrogena treatment pads, Clearasil, St. Ives apricot scrub, because I grew up with acne prone skin, meaning like I always had hyperpigmentation. I had a constellation across my face, and there was nothing that was marketed to me that I felt like was cool enough to put on my cabinet that all my friends had that was preventative for hyperpigmentation. It was all like, fix the acne by burning your face off.
Exactly.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
exactly.
And then I saw that kind of evolve, but it evolved into sort of like clean and, you know, whatever it was at the time, and it still didn't address hyperpigmentation in a way that I felt was like inclusive. And melanin inclusive is something we kind of, you know, came across as we were creating the brand. Ingredients like niacinamide, tranexamic acid, all the tyrosine inhibitors that people don't use because we all face hyperpigmentation. We were like, let's get them in a core routine, but that looks at hyperpigmentation like something that can be prevented. And I didn't feel that was being done. So it was really crazy to create something in a space we felt there was nothing, and then to be lumped into this oversaturated group of celebrity skincare. But now people are starting to see the formulations shine for what they are, and that feels so good.
Being genderless was important for me as a man that was marketed to in a way that was more sort of blindfolding what was really what I was really putting on my skin. And obviously there's a big trend towards men, but I still don't think there's enough transparency for the male customer to understand what they are putting in their skin. It's a little more, you know, of a typical thing for female clients to have an understanding of ingredients, but men, it's just like, this is invigorating, this makes you feel smart, this makes you feel strong, and it's like, well, what is it exactly? And so
very dumbed down.
Very dumbed down, really dumbed down. And I, you know, as someone that, you know, my skin is obviously a big part of my day job. And every day I talk to my makeup artist or makeup artist about my skin, what's going to dry it out, what's not. And before you know it, I realized that I had a little bit of a sort of a dialogue about skin that I never really used outside of being in the chair and putting makeup on. And then when Sabrina and I were talking about formulas, I was asking, well, what's that for? What's that for? She's like, why do we need that? Why do we need it? And so we became to a place where it felt natural for us not to have a Idris skincare and a Sabrina skincare, but genderless, so that we both feel comfortable using it.
It's so funny, when you become a founder, you learn how much marketing is like this wool over your eyes. And I felt so lied to. I mean, it was Idris's sort of, I want to be more efficient. Why do I need that? Why do we need single ingredient formulations? Why can't it just be together? And I'm like, you're right. It can. Why are we the chemists now all of a sudden? Do you know what I mean? Like, let the chemists do their job. And we went knowing our whole INCI and what we wanted in it, and found inclusions of actives that are good for sensitive skin, that you're not finding like kids coming in and being like, oh, I'm going to use all these AHAs and BHAs.
Burning their face off.
Totally, which I went through, right? So I'm like not trying to repeat the cycle, and just let the chemists do their thing. It's wasteful to have like a niacinamide serum or all these things that should just be included in skincare ranges. So it just going, I'm not using the 10 things that you're using, made me go, why am I even using 10 things? And it was this great dialogue that we started.
And in their own words, this is a melanin-focused brand. And it's kind of cool to see products that can help with that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, melanated skin, and not feel like you're peeling your skin off.
I feel like we get marketed a lot of fluff. like really you've got to protect your skin barrier, protect from free radicals, protect from the sun. That's what's actually going to keep you looking young at the end of the day. Like, you know, anything that says it's going to get rid of your wrinkles in like 2 days, have a little bit of a think.
Yeah, it's hard to like forget about all those selling tactics. So, you know, it's been so long, and I think only now brands like Sable Labs are educating, which I think is important, like education first.
Yeah. And everything we learned, we want to share. And it's like this transparency. Transparency is literally hung in the wall of Idris's office. And then when we started the brand, it was like, that's it, transparency. We learned something, we share it.
Yeah.
And you know, some people, why do we call it sable? Well, sable is actually Elba's backwards, but it's also a beautiful color of brown. The sable brown is like not known. You know, brown, no one could say, oh, it's just brown, but it actually there's a color, and it's called a sable brown. And that sort of is a bit of a metaphor for that, you know, the melanin inclusive brand that actually, well, melanin, what's that? Well, there's a, you know, hyperpigmentation. You have melanin, I have melanin, fair skin has it, dark skin has it. There's a name for it. It's called melanin. And in brands and skincare products, it's always been sort of like, as Sabrina says, bargain bucket. You know, it's not been highlighted. And actually, so many people could benefit from understanding how to look after and treat, you know, hyperpigmentation.
Yeah, I see, you know, a lot. People come up to us with fairer skin going, oh, isn't it a black brand? Isn't that black skincare?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, we all face hyperpigmentation. It displays itself differently.
Right.
Skin at the cellular level always functions the same. One cell divides into two. It's just different people have different issues on how, you know, problems get displayed. Like someone can have rosacea, our toner is still going to fight that rosacea and calm it down as it's fighting inflammation in the same way that it's going to battle hyperpigmentation. It's part of the whole conversation, just about expanding that conversation. And that's what we feel brands haven't been doing. And it's like, it's so frustrating. As a woman of color, I'm like, I don't want to have to spend so much to get a niche range of a product line, or spend like $2. I don't even know where the shade's coming from.
Right.
And by the way, shade's in like everything.
Yeah.
So let's talk about A-Beauty. Let's talk about brands that are melanin inclusive, and let's get, you know, these ingredients the light they deserve.
I mentioned that the cleanser is one of my favorites. You know, having combination skin, it's so gentle but able to kind of wash away all that overproduction of sebum. But the toner's been one of my favorite products since their launch almost a year ago. And we're talking about how it kind of verges on serum, essence, toner. They're all very interchangeable now. And how I love the fact that they launched with a toner, because brands don't. They kind of knew that toners aren't just a gimmicky thing, like a product you can just throw into your routine for like an extra something to do. And this toner is, like I said, like a spray-on serum. It's ensuring that you can get some amazing ingredients in an easy to use, gentle way for everyone, kind of cutting your routine down some as well.
Yeah.
I love a toner. I haven't seen a brand launch with a toner because I feel like it's always a second thought. Like no one really cares about it.
Totally.
But it's one of my favorite products to use. And when I was looking at the ingredients, I actually saw a video of yourself talking about use it as more like an aftershave now, and the ingredients that help brighten up the skin and even out that skin tone. And what I love about it, it's like a liquid serum almost.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
like
the
an
serum
essence.
stage cut out. So cleanser, toner, moisturizer.
You're pointing out how different it is. When we were making a toner, just like, what even is a toner? Like, why is it toning this?
Understand it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. I'm not just going to use witch hazel or glycerin or rose water. I wanted to create something. We wanted to create something that was like actually doing something that was effective in what it was doing, that was fighting hyperpigmentation with this black seed that's an amazing antioxidant. It helps prevent inflammation, which obviously leads to hyperpigmentation, but then also has like gentle AHAs and this exfoliating effect, and vitamin C. We found this ultra stable one. Now I feel like we can say, you know, we've got a superior product here. It's finding that balance between natural ingredients and like contemporary science. And I love that you use it as an aftershave, and that just kind of happened organically as we were developing it.
Yeah, I think, you know, I realized that, you know, when you've got ingrown hairs, you've got very curly hair, it grows back in.
Yeah.
When it grows back in, it inflames.
Yeah.
And then the skin that, you know, naturally is heavily melanated, so that's the dark spot.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize that, you know, the aftershave after, you know, the alcohol,
Very dry.
no wonder it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The black seed, which is, I was on a learning curve about what black seed, how the inflammation helps skin. So what I found is that now I've always had a darker area, because I've been shaving since I was 12.
Really?
Seriously?
I'm a man. But you know, but you know, naturally, no, weird. But there's a natural
Bit of
darker area
Yeah.
around here. You can see that it's called a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
I thought that's permanent, but actually, since I've been using our product, that area is just, my makeup artist in films is like, oh my god, I don't have to put lighter makeup over here. It's all
Yeah,
slightly,
yeah.
The skin's being
Yeah.
exfoliated.
It's funny because nothing's been marketed to us in that way. Do you know what I mean? And now to have something that's masstige that isn't in like the bargain aisle or the black aisle,
Yeah.
or that
Next
can
to the
sit in a place-
deodorant, like
Yeah, and shout out to Space and K for allowing like a black-owned brand. We don't have investors; we're a family business to shine in their stores.
Speaking of ingredients as well, Sable Labs introduced me to some ingredients that I've never heard of before, or I kind of feel I've just been pushed down in the ingredients list. There's some ingredients that I do feel deserve more highlighting, which I hope they get through this brand, like Kale, baobab seed, mongongo oil, black seed extract, and that rooibos extract, which I'm just saying wrong all the time. As proud as they are of using their A Beauty, they also know how important it is to kind of responsibly source that, and the importance of responsible farming as well, and the ethical way to do it, knowing exactly where their ingredients are from, and the farmers farming their ingredients. It's a huge thing that I feel like they really put first the importance of that before trying to sell their product. Like, you can really tell that this is of the utmost importance to them, which doesn't surprise me knowing all the previous work they had done before launching a brand.
I mean, I always knew that we were going to use A Beauty. Like we talked about that from the start. But what I didn't know is how abusive that industry actually is, because you have small farmers farming shea for massive conglomerates that is literally, this sounds crazy, women are dying. Women are dying gathering shea for skincare. And it's on our shelves. We talk about fair trade coffee. We talk about fair trade everything else except for skincare.
Yeah.
And no one's opened up the conversation. So we decided early on, if we're going to source ingredients from the continent, we're going to do it in a way that's responsible. We're going to get to know the farmers, get to know the communities, so that we feel like we're taking part in that exchange. And that's how it should be. So there's obviously a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built and set up for other companies to be able to do it, because it's not easy. Like, we only work with B Corp. We only want to work with other chemists that are working with B Corp and gathering ingredients responsibly. We have to say no so much more than we can say yes to be able to do it that way. But it means so much to support A Beauty. And as you probably found out, like, the ingredients are amazing.
They're amazing, and what I love about it is it merges kind of like home remedies and things your grandmother would tell you about meet science, and it's genuinely effective. It's not just DIY at home. These are ingredients that can really, really benefit you, and I love that combination.
There was this product that I used that was like this Armani beauty cream. It said that it had this secret ingredient, like a secret, and it was like African resurrection plant. And I'm like, give these ingredients their time to shine. There's amazing ingredients on the continent. Hustle, which my mom's been using forever, which is in our mask and our cleanser. Amazing natural antibacterial, helps with acne, helps with hyperpigmentation, like all these amazing things. And we barely know what it is. It was like, give A Beauty its time to shine.
Sabrina's point about agriculture and the sort of secrecy about the ingredient is because the secret is about, well, we don't really want to say where we're getting okra from, even though the active ingredient is African resurrection plant, but it's okra. And to get okra, you have to go where it's grown. And to get it, they're going at ways that are not fair to the farmers. And so it now becomes a big secret. And Sabrina and I both work with the International Fund for Agriculture Development, which is a UN-backed agency that really look at and position smallholder farmers as the custodians of our earth. Because ultimately we all, even the coffee beans or the food that we eat in restaurant, comes from a farmer somewhere. And we saw in the crisis in the pandemic, the food shortage. And where did all the fingers go to? It's the farmers. It's like, okay, what's happening to the farms? Oh, well, the farms can't produce if we're not looking after them. Long story short is that it really is an important component to our products that cycle is fulfilled. And obviously, if you've got a natural product growing from the earth and it's good for your skin, that's the cycle we need to go through.
And then to see them like backed with contemporary science, like never in my 100 years would I have thought I'd see Hustle, which is like a Somali staple with oat amino acids and kaolin, and like, and it's just so nice to see that marriage together. Like you said, it's like that balance between grandma's secrets.
And this is going to sound so stupid now. I know what I know, but I never thought about the human side of it. I didn't think about who's making this, who's farming this.
It felt like a responsibility, and luckily when you're starting out a brand, it's a lot easier to make sure you build it the right way than to go backwards.
Yeah.
So we were able to set this foundation where we work with Farm Africa with the brand. Actually, proceeds from every purchase go towards Farm Africa. So they help us find our partners on the ground and new farmers to work with. And it's the best way to learn stuff too. If you go to like a rural community, they'll be like, this tree is so good. Everyone uses it to cure this, this, and this. And we're like, oh, and it's like, oh no, but it's been patented by like pharmaceuticals. I'm like,
right.
what? Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And it's just having those conversations and learning with communities on the ground has been really fulfilling, and it's a big part of our lives.
Of course, I did have to ask what their favorite products were too. If there's one product from the brand you have to kind of like use to introduce somebody to what the brand's about, what product would that be?
I know what it is for you.
Go for it. You tell me.
Mine's a cleanser, for sure. Yeah, I feel like the cleansers, we are so used to cleansers that make you feel so stripped. To have a cleanser that just draws out impurities, gets the job done, and you feel moisturized after, and the fact that it's like, do I still have stuff on my skin because
Yeah.
we're not used to it? I'm like, I love that, and I love teaching people about hustle and like showing them that there is an alternative way, and that's probably my hero.
So mine's a cleanser too. As someone with oily and dry skin, when I saw
Amazing.
kaolin clay in a cleanser, I was like, yes, I'm going to use that now.
Yes.
Dry here, oily here, but perfectly balances out everything.
And it's so good for
Absolutely
sensitive
genius.
skin,
So
breastfeeding
good.
safe, pregnancy safe,
Yeah.
cruelty free, like vegan, like all these things
Yeah.
that, you know, we want the brands to have. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, well, we're doing this the right way.
Yeah.
I'd say it was a toner for me.
Yeah.
Just because I really enjoy the benefits of being hydrated, you know, calming the inflammation around my shaving area for sure. And also, like, I wear a lot of makeup in films, and so, you know, my skin often feels dry under lights, under weather conditions. Spray that, and it's like, bing. And
Instant
I
hydration.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Even after the shower, I take it, I put it down, you know, and I just really think it's worth
Nice
it.
you can spray it all day.
And the black seed toner, black seed is an ingredient that I think is really very good for you. It's got so many benefits to it. But to have it in a spray toner, and I think, you know, because, you know, if men are like, well, I'm not sure about this genderless stuff, you know, this is one, it's gentle. The moisturizer is easy. You like moisturizer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to really put yourself on an educated curve around skincare,
Yeah.
spray the toner.
Yeah.
Shave, spray it after. Tell me how you feel.
See the difference.
It's so nice to see all the guys in here today kind of light up. You
Yeah.
were talking about, it just takes representation. Someone who they wouldn't expect to be talking about it. And I've seen you speak to so many men and just their eyes go, oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
So yeah, I really enjoy this brand. As someone who's really into skincare and a skincare hobbyist, when I hear some brand founders talk about their brand so passionately, because I'll be honest with you, I've met brand founders before who don't want to talk about their products or the ingredients or skincare in general. And it was honestly really nice to hear a brand founder talk so passionately, not about just their products, but the skincare realm as a whole, and really actually know what's going on. As I mentioned, this brand feels like an extension of them, their lives, the philanthropic work that they do. And it's great that the products are actually amazing as well. So you can get your hands on these at Space NK here in the UK and on the website in the US. Check out the cleanser and the toner, especially if you have like oily combination skin, you're going to love it. If you struggle with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, want something gentle to work with your skin, check out Sable Labs. Again, thank you to Space NK for giving me the opportunity to do my little interview thing. You can check out some more product reviews here, some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.